If there was one thing to focus on Etsy that would be the biggest return on your time, probably the biggest return on growth for your business, I'm going to give you that right now. And that is focus on products first. Let me explain. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Actually, it's not hard, but there is more to it. Here's the deal. A lot of times we are focusing on things like keyword research, listing optimization, Etsy ads, customer follow-up, all of those things. Now, customer follow-up, we got to get sales in order to have customer follow-up. So that really doesn't happen unless we're getting the sales. But let's just talk about all of those other things. SEO, super important. Search engine optimization for those of you that are new. Okay. That means that if someone types in your keyword, they're going to find your listing or potentially find your listing. But if we do not have products that are being searched for, then SEO doesn't mean anything. It doesn't work because there's no search. Whenever I hear someone saying, oh, I'm going to launch this product because I think it's great, or one person asked me for it, so I created it and I put it up. Sure, you could get lucky and put it up there and someone could buy it. Absolutely could happen. And I know people that have done it. But what we want to do is if we had one thing, if there was only one thing that I would tell you is the most important to focus on, it's finding products that are in demand for your niche. Now, for those of you that are just throwing spaghetti at the wall and basically launching any products and having like a general store, I would advise you to narrow down into a niche, or at least a niche that could have some sub niches that's bolted together. So this way here, when you do all of this work to find the products, design the products, list the products, do SEO, run your Etsy ads, customer follow-up, all that stuff. You're doing all that to make it worth your while, focusing on a niche. Now we can do something else, and that's build that customer base. Okay. And we've talked about that a lot on this channel. But the number one thing is finding those products. And you're like, well, Scott, that's obvious. I get it. But here's the mistake. Like I said, a lot of people are making. They're not doing product research, or they're doing product research, at least they think they are. And they're doing it where they're looking at the keyword search and not necessarily the sales search. That's a big mistake that I see a lot of people making. Number one, you're going to need to use some type of tool in order to see the data. The tool that we recommend, it's the one that we use, and yes, we're an affiliate for it. So yes, you will buy us a cup of coffee if you go through it, is Everbee. And if you want to try it for free, little shameless plug, you can go to brandcreators.com/Everbee. And you're going to use that tool to find products that are in your niche that are in demand, meaning they're selling. If you're just looking at the keywords, that to me can be misleading. So what I want to do is I want to find products. And my rule of thumb is generally, if you're just starting, 3 to 5 products is where I would start with finding the in-demand products. Because if we find these products, okay, that are in demand, they're proven to sell, all the work that we're doing, SEO, listing optimization, Etsy ads, we're focusing on driving awareness to products that we know are being searched for and we know are being purchased. Instead of the other thing, we're focusing on SEO on a product that's not getting any searches and it's not getting any sales, or it's getting very little sales. So if there was one thing that I would say is the most important thing to focus on, it is finding those in-demand products that's going to drive the traffic into your shop. And if you're following the niche approach that we talk about, or building a brand approach in a niche, then we're going to lead people into our shop that also we have products over here that might not be in demand. We can launch those other products that are related to our niche, even if they're not getting a lot of search, because now we've introduced these products to people coming through the front door by finding the products that have the demand. Hopefully that makes sense. Let that sink in for a second. Finding those products, 3 to 5 to start with, that are bringing in the people, the traffic, even if you're not making as much money with those there are going to be the ones that are going to lead people into the shop. They enter the shop and now they have more items that are related to that niche because you're building a niche-based brand. And now from there, they're going to be introduced to these products. Very similar to if you had a brick and mortar and someone was looking for a new fishing pole and they went into your shop and you sell all kinds of fishing stuff. Well, they walk in for the pole and they walk out with the tackle box, the new lures, maybe the waders, the boots. They walk out with that other stuff that might not have been the initial search, but it's there because we know that that's what our customer might also want. But we led them in with the products that we know are getting searched for inside of Etsy. That is the one thing that you should be focusing on if you want to grow your Etsy shop.